Well, well, well. Ethereum ETFs are here. Well, pretty much here. There's really no room left to say that's going to get denied. Pretty much green light from here on out. And no David today. You got Big Rob. But very exciting day because in Big Rob's in David's chair, we got Ashley here joining us, as well as Dan from the Chart Guys. And then big news coming in today from the Trump campaign. And so they're taking the crypto. I'm sure you've seen it on X, but we're going to break down what does this mean. Not to mention, you got a lot going on with ETF filings for the Ethereum. BlackRock is moving up in the ranks when it comes to the Bitcoin ETFs. We're going to talk a little meme coins. If you're a fan of Phantom, we're going to take a peek there as well. And, well, Bored Ape Yacht Club, they got this new NFT coming out, causing a little bit of controversy. So they're in a little hot water. We got all that and much more on the back end of this little animation we're going to play with our logo. It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. As we mentioned, pack show. We got Bitcoin flirting with the 70K, not too far away from all-time highs. Potential Ethereum listing. It's got the markets very interesting. And then also just a ton of stuff coming out of Congress, the executive office. It almost seems like we're getting front and center coverage from the candidates as far as, you know, what side of crypto regulation are you going to stand on? Are we going to have crypto regulation that is to foster adoption, make things easier, or are we going to try to shut the damn thing down? Which I don't know. I feel like both sides are leaning more towards a crypto friendly regulation. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I do want to introduce our co-host here today. We got Ashley in the house.
Is crazy.
Yeah. Are you going to join in on the Bitcoin conversation?
I will try my best.
So excited.
I studied.
Did you? You studied Bitcoin?
Yeah. Yeah, I know all about it.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, then also here in a few, we'll be patching in Dan, who's going to be taking a look at the charts. So if you have any tokens or projects that you're a fan of, anything you want to take a look at the charts, put that in the chat. We can always relay that over to Dan to see if take a look at any of the projects you're interested in. But let's get right into it. So today's headline, well, it was our thumbnail and our headline is Trump. So the Trump campaign leans in on crypto with new donation page amid shifting political landscape. So when you go to the Trump campaign page, front and center is the let's see. Actually, I should have pulled it up before, but let's take a look here. We got Trump crypto campaign, and so really big news here coming out of the Trump candidacy. This is the first time, by the way, just to put it in perspective, first time that any presidential candidate has openly accepted crypto. Last election, the second largest donor to the Biden campaign was FTX, but that was just through traditional means, like, hey, we're just going to send you some cash. But on this situation, what we have is you have Donald Trump basically coming out and saying, like, hey, you can just straight send us Bitcoin, Ethereum, you got Dogecoin. Man, where is this? My apologies, I should have had this pulled up, but Ashley, if you want to take a peek, see if you can find the Trump page where it lets you donate, and then I will.
The Trump page where they let you donate?
Yeah. So Trump is. So what do you think about this? I'm just curious what your perspective is.
Please.
So this is the first time it's happened. Trump is accepting donations, campaign donations in crypto. So traditionally, it's always been, hey, send us some cash. Connect your bank account, credit card, whatever it is. Now you can just straight send dude Bitcoin, Ethereum, and 6 other currencies as well, cryptos.
Wow.
Wow, there it is. Well, that's it.
I mean, isn't it just still donating money? Like I feel like it's not any different than donating money, no?
Yeah, but we've had a situation where so this is a president, right? So he's the one that makes decisions on.
I know what a president is.
Yeah,
I
but
get that one. Yeah.
but here historically we've had a situation where the presidential candidates have taken a stance that say, hey, we don't really support crypto. We don't want to. We want to support the dollar. We don't want to support crypto. And there's always this loosely thrown out argument where, hey, it's just for criminals and people for money laundering and things of that nature. That's what you hear out of Congress, and so what we've heard before from previous presidents. And now you have a situation where not only is the conversation of crypto not, hey, we're going to ban it, but if anything, hey, pay me in crypto, and we'll use it to get reelected. And a couple weeks ago, you had the candidate, former President Trump, come out and say, hey, if you're for crypto, vote for Donald Trump, which has been a vastly different take that we've heard from the Biden campaign. And so the Biden campaign has come out recently, also said, hey, we're going to veto any bills that come to our desk that opposes the current crypto regulation. And it seems like they have also flip-flopped on that as well. So it's an interesting dichotomy where we previously have had no conversation at all about crypto. Now you have, hey, send me crypto as part of my campaign donations. And
maybe Homeboy's just trying to be different. I don't know. He's Mr. Crypto. He might as well take his donations in crypto, no? I don't know.
Well, he wasn't Mr. Crypto. So when he was a former president,
doesn't he have a coin?
Someone created a coin out of his likeness. Okay. Yes, but it wasn't created by him. Funny you bring that up, because the people that created the coin knew his wallet address, so they just sent him a ton of the coins. So technically, he is sitting on millions of dollars of said meme coin. However, this is still, when you zoom out and take a look at the situation, Trump hasn't had a positive stance on crypto. Now, he had an NFT line come out, so we speculated, hey, he's opening up to crypto, but now that that's behind him, also he discussed a little bit of crypto at Mar-a-Lago. He had this event for his NFT holders, and then now accepting crypto. Just very curious to see what'll happen if he gets elected into office, which he is leading the polls. And take that as you will. The polls have been wrong more recently. But if, say, Trump were to get elected, you have someone that, well, hey, has his own NFT line. He has, as you mentioned, his own meme coin.
Well,
which
now it's not his. I've just found out.
Yeah, it's not his, no.
Okay. Well.
He does own a bunch, though, so I'm glad you pointed that out.
See, I studied.
Wow. There you go.
I know.
There you go. So just very interesting how things are unfolding here. And, just to get into some of the regulatory conversations here, as I mentioned, there was a press release last week that said, hey, this bill that's in Congress right now, which did pass, they were going to, quote unquote, veto it, which we understand that with a bipartisan vote that it passed with over 30 Democrats signing that vote. It seems like the White House has flipped. And yet again, we have another press release. This one coming out this morning. This is from the executive office. You have Justin, the White House is eager to vote or to work with Congress to develop balanced regulatory framework for digital assets. This is a far cry than we had just 7 days ago. Think about that. How far we've moved in 7 days. Now, is it perhaps coincidence that the Trump campaign has been a little bit more crypto friendly when it comes to campaign adoptions? Because at the end of the day, to get reelected, well, you need a bunch of damn money. That's just the reality of it. You have to raise money. And last election, Biden raised a ton of money through crypto, through, well, FTX. And, well, this election probably is going to be no different. And so there has been loose discussions on the fact that Trump is leading in campaign donations through cryptocurrency, and perhaps his stance has, has accelerated that. Now, so very interesting to see the flip-flop here. So this is coming out of the executive office. And so here, I just wanted to highlight here towards the bottom. I don't think I can actually highlight this one. No, I can't. But you can see here, you have the administration looks forward to continued collaboration with Congress in developing legislation for digital assets that includes adequate guardrails for customer. Anyways, they're needed for innovation and collaboration. This is a 180 from the executive office. And as I mentioned, I do think that the Biden campaign is sitting here looking themselves in the mirror saying, hey, we need to bring in more money for this campaign. We're falling behind. Trump is accelerating. He's bringing in tons of donation. He is Mr. Crypto, quote unquote, as we're dubbing him here at Sin City Crypto. And, well, funny how we got here, right? And so something very interesting to unpack. And then also, not only is it in the presidential campaigns that we're seeing perhaps a switch on crypto stance, but the Democrats have more or less been opposed to any crypto regulation. It's been really the Republican side of Congress that has been coming out and trying to pass some of the bills for crypto regulation, perhaps the stablecoin bill, the ability for banks to custody and service crypto for its customers. That's been taboo up until lately. But here we got Cynthia Lummis coming out, and she tweeted out, there is bipartisan majority in both chambers of Congress in favor of crypto. Future's very bright. So it's not, hey, there's a minority of Democrats here that support it. There's enough Democrats to push a vote over. Cynthia Lummis is coming out and saying, hey, in her camp, for Republicans and also for Democrats, both sides, we have majority of the representatives saying that, hey, we want crypto regulation. We want to bring in crypto. We're pro-crypto. So very interesting to see how we got there. And then we'll get a little further into the discussion here in a moment. But we did want to bring in our guest today. And so joins us pretty much most Wednesdays. And without further ado, let's bring in Dan from the Chart Guys. Dan, what's up, brother?
Not much. Glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. I know you are the chart guru here. You know, you're in the charts, and periodically we try to get your opinion on some outside discussions. But what was your initial takeaway when it comes to presidents taking crypto for campaign contributions, or just perhaps it being part of the normal conversation? Because last election, there was zero questions on crypto. There was none. None of the debates was brought up. And it seems like we're getting in a situation where we're about to openly discuss crypto as a main topic for these presidential candidates. Also, we have some debates coming down the pipeline where you have all three of the candidates, which is Trump, Biden, and also RFK, which is taking a very loud stance on Bitcoin. He's come out and said that he wants to bring Bitcoin in and use it in the government levels. And so what's kind of your immediate thoughts on crypto being a front and center narrative for this election coming up?
Yeah, I think the politicians are all self-serving, and so if they find it's in their best interest to support something or talk about something or accept a different form of money, then they're going to do so. And so it's just reached a point where there's enough of the population, pushing that, and it is noteworthy that they are now accepting it is has value. They're taking it on, so that in itself adds some legitimacy. But it's nice to see. It's kind of reminds me of the cannabis issue and how Biden and the Democrats are trying to take that as theirs, and right now Trump and Republicans aren't really putting up a fight for that narrative at all. So it's interesting to see with crypto how it's so reactive. Right after Trump says, "Hey, we'll take crypto," Biden says, "Oh, we'll take it too." And yeah, it's all self-serving, but I guess we'll take it. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, it just I still like sometimes I gotta like pinch myself, like man, because I felt like the people on YouTube and these small little circles, I feel like it was the only place you could really catch conversation on crypto, and now I feel like you see it every day now. It's part of the discussion on CNBC, Fox News, and now that it's probably going to be some kind of talking point in these debates that are upcoming is pretty interesting. It's a far cry from where we were. Bitcoin has been absolutely ripping here in the last week. We saw that we were down testing 65K, and we were in question, would this support even hold? We briefly shot up above 70,000. Really just here at this 70K range, trying to figure out, are we going to break to the upside or downside or consolidate right here? What is your initial takeaway on Bitcoin's price action that how we got here? And you have perhaps some ideas on where is this thing going to go? Not to mention we got Ethereum on the back end, but let's touch on Bitcoin. What are the charts telling you for Bitcoin?
Sure. So there's only one resistance left, and that's the all-time high. It's a bit of a zone, pretty much 72 to 74, we can call it. And the most recent bull move up, we got just right up to 72. So we're knocking on the door of the only resistance level that there is. And, I've been viewing it as essentially a laggard move to the broader market. SPY and the NASDAQ were monthly bull flags that confirmed. And, I said, I think it was a tweet I made last week, the broader market is giving the green light to the Bitcoin bulls. We'll see if they take it. And obviously, we've seen a nice laggard move up over the last week and a half where it's gone up 10, 15% or so. So the bulls are liking where they're positioned, just in the sense that worst case, we reject from resistance and we continue to tighten up. So I think that, looking into June, we got another week in May here. We could say worst case, we reject from resistance and the weekly charts tighten up for a good bit of June and of the summer. And again, back to the broader market, right now we're seeing the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 with some of the lowest volume over the last few days that we've seen in years. And so there's just this summer lull already setting in. And so worst case, we tighten up. Best case, we get a new all-time high. And we're on the verge of daily consolidation right now. The bears are stepping in a little bit here. You can see the NASDAQ is dropping on the FOMC minutes being released from last week. So a little bit of weakness there, and Bitcoin is seeing that weakness as well. We're testing the low of yesterday's daily candle. So we're about to start daily consolidation. What I want to know is what's the response to first hourly oversold conditions from here? We know that in the strongest bull trends, hourly oversold will mark a daily higher low. So that's the next bit of information that we're going to be looking for over the next day or two. Do we get to hourly oversold, and can we establish a new support level? But there's no red flags in this daily chart. We're just, stair-stepping up this uptrend, and I would need to see a loss. So let's see, what would it look like if we're going to set a weekly lower high? We would pull back and then confirm a daily downtrend, and that would tell us, all right, probably tightening up a lot of June. But we can make a simple statement and say, as long as daily EMA 12 is support, we're going to keep that resistance zone within striking distance.
All right. I know you mentioned that you think maybe come down and test that EMA. What would be an expected retest? What is the kind of the number you think it would pull back to for Bitcoin if we did see a little drawdown from where we're at? Would it be back down to 65K? Is that kind of where I'm assuming?
If we get down to 65K, that would be big enough of a pullback that we would say, all right, it's tightening up for most of June. I want to see bulls hold 67 here. You can see all the resistance, 67, 67.3, and then just most recently, 67.5, 67.4. So there's just a bunch of previous resistance levels in the 67s. And if we can hold that, we'll keep the EMA. Hourly oversold would likely establish a new support level. So 67 is the most important short-term support for me. If we lose it convincingly, tightening weekly range for a lot of June, definitely on the table.
Got it. All right. And then I know you said the volume was falling a little flat on the broader markets like NASDAQ. I know that NVIDIA was supposed to have a earnings report come out. I know that there has been a lot of quarterly reports coming out of the publicly traded companies. It seems surprising that in the presidential election coming up that, we haven't seen that next leg up or explosive growth when it comes out of the index funds. Do you expect a breakout? Because I know typically when you have consolidation or a lull in volume, it's usually precluded to a large breakout. Do you think that might be coming up, or do you think we're in an extended consolidation point right now?
Well, we did just pull back for about a month or so, and you can see this is QQQ here, the NASDAQ. So we established a new support after a month of consolidation, and it has been straight up for the last month. It's not an explosive move, but, back to all-time highs. And it's just bulls are tired in the short term. You can see, ever since we topped out last week and then a little quick higher low, we're just grinding. So again, the volume is dropping off. This orange line is the 20-day average volume, and it's just been trending down over the last couple of weeks. So it's really a question of, are we about to start weekly consolidation in the broader market? And we have a bunch of space for a weekly higher low to form when that does happen. And again, if that were to happen, it would likely add some downward pressure onto Bitcoin, would likely have Bitcoin tightening up into June. But as you mentioned, NVIDIA earnings, it has, you look at QQQ, SPY, these ETFs, the weight that NVIDIA has in those ETFs is pretty massive. And so earnings after hours today, NVIDIA is either going to hit a new all-time high and get over $1,000 for the first time, or it's going to reject from its all-time high and fade back down if it's a bearish reaction. I have no idea. I don't play earnings. I think they're a coin flick gamble, and we'd rather go to Vegas and play some roulette if we're going to be gambling on a coin flip. But NVIDIA after hours is going to dictate the short term for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 as far as the next few days.
Okay. I know you've heard the news. Well, the Ethereum ETF, which was dismissed as well, going to get denied. Well, that whole narrative has been flipped on its head, and we're expecting an ETF for the Ethereum to come out, or at least to get approved here, I think tomorrow or the day after. And we saw with that news a giant rally. So right from 3,000 to 3,800. What do you make of the price action? Do you think it's a little bit overbought at the moment, or do you think that perhaps there's maybe this is just a brief consolidation before the next leg up? I don't know if you wanted to look at it. I know I was going to discuss it a little later. We were going to take a look at January Bitcoin, and that was when I think January 14th, somewhere in there, was when Bitcoin's ETF got approved. And we wanted to take a look at the price action that we saw shortly thereafter. And so I think they had 1 week where Bitcoin's price kind of pulled back. Yeah, that's right there. That red candle was the initial sell off of Grayscale. And then from there forward, it pretty much just shot up and hasn't slowed down. It went from 40,000 to its current 70,000. And I just wanted to see what you thought. If we get an ETF approval, obviously you're adding a ton of liquidity to the market. What is the Ethereum chart kind of looking like, right? Maybe in a longer term time horizon, especially if you were to have a similar scenario that we had with Bitcoin when it comes to the ETF launch.
Yeah, so this Bitcoin, and as you mentioned, we were running up. It's coming, it's here, and then we pull back almost for 2 weeks. And it was an initial sell the news reaction to the fact that they're here. And then it was, the money started pouring in. And then the actual implications of a significant amount of money buying these ETFs. And then, of course, the ETFs buying the underlying. And that led to another big leg up. So, history can often rhyme. And so if it were to be similar, this is the run up into the approval of the ETFs. And then we may pull back. If we reject from the top that we had back in March, the recent high of just over 4,000, maybe we fail that level and then pull back a bit as we settle into the new norm of having these ETFs. And then it's just a question of how much cash actually goes into these ETFs. Does it put up surprising numbers compared to Bitcoin? Is it disappointing? Are we going to read headlines saying in the first week of ETF headline or ETF trading, it's only got 15% of Bitcoin's volume from the first week? That would be a negative perception. If it's, hey, we got 75% as much or even more, that would be potentially positive. So we're going to wait to see the reaction there. As of right now, we're consolidating fairly sideways. We definitely did get extended on that initial move up. So there are no red flags on this consolidation right now. But for me, it's going to be all about ETH BTC, which we've talked about. Look at this big candle. This is the weekly chart. So big candle, but what is different from here? Nothing. What has to happen? We have to confirm the first weekly uptrend that we've seen in ETH BTC in almost a year and a half. Big candles are great, but they have to follow through. Back here, we failed. We rejected from resistance, fresh lows. And so I want to see when this tops out, and we're not looking for a top at the moment. It's too early to say, but when it tops out, can we set the higher low, maybe a sell the news scenario initially, and then the ETF funds lead it higher? I have to see continued progression on the weekly chart for this ETH BTC pairing if I'm going to have confidence that a longer term shift is underway.
Yeah, I'm just at some point I just kind of reflect back in history, and Ethereum did outperform Bitcoin very very convincingly back in 2021, and then obviously when you had the bear market to follow, it's been an obvious hold. Bitcoin would have outperformed Ethereum, but I'm just curious if we're going to get the same thing here in this cycle. I feel like the altcoin season, quote unquote, is around the corner. I do believe that we're going to get that, and so I don't know, man. I think that this ETF. I mean, even from just from a Wall Street perspective, I mean, how many billions of dollars poured into this Bitcoin ETF, and how many people are in profit, and are people going to diversify that part of their portfolio and say, hey, let me get the next ETF? I'm expecting the Ethereum one to perform as well as the Bitcoin one. Perhaps let me rebalance my position on Bitcoin, move some over to Ethereum. I think that is something that maybe isn't widely done amongst investors. I think it might be a long-term hold for Bitcoin, but I do think that there's going to be some kind of percentage where people are taking profits off of the table from the Bitcoin ETF and rolling them into the Ethereum one, trying to get the same kind of price action. I did want to discuss one project that we've been fans of, but not really exactly sure where it's going to go. And that's Phantom. And so Phantom had a pretty strong performance last bull market, and it's up over 40% this week. And I got a headline article here just to kind of show you some of the sentiment for what the news publications are coming out with. Is it too late to buy Phantom? And then you got the FTM token claims as new AI project raises $2.2 million. I don't really take too much away from this AI. The $2 million funding for an AI project is not that much, but I just kind of something I came across and made me think, like, you know what, is Phantom, is it overbought? Is there still room to run? It's pretty small market cap, at least compared to the top 20 tokens. And so I just want to know, what is the Phantom chart telling you? Is this something that you might be expecting a pullback for, or do you think it's just the first leg of the next run up for this?
So yeah, Phantom's doing what a lot of altcoins are doing, which is, big move up back in March, big pullback, and now we've got a range that we can easily trade within. So as I mentioned, if Bitcoin's going to tighten up through June, then obviously these altcoins are going to do so as well. And so I'm watching, this chart reminds me of Sol. There's just a lot of coins that look like this. And so we're watching, are we going to do something like this for a lot of the summer? And right now we have a daily uptrend still. The daily consolidation just started. There's no red flags. Again, I always look to the response. Here's first hourly oversold conditions after a big bull move. Can we defend that level and set a daily higher low? If we do, that tells us that we're likely to see continuation. If hourly oversold does not mark a daily higher low, we take that information saying, okay, buyers are not aggressively looking to get in on this dip, and we can definitely be setting a little bit of a longer term top. And so, as traders, what we often need to be doing is knowing when to pump the gas and pump the brakes. And obviously, you want to be trading a lot more when your volatility is doing this, and you want to be trading a lot less when it's tightening up. And so if we do get summer tightening ranges for a lot of June, then that tells us, okay, number one, slow down your trading and be patient, but also get ready, because when these tightening ranges break, we're going to see another big spike in volatility. Now, they could obviously break bullish or bearish, but unless something drastically changes, essentially, unless Bitcoin gets moved to 75,000 plus and we start to see FOMO and a bunch of euphoria return, I'm expecting that these altcoins like Sol and FTM are just going to give us these tightening ranges, also knowing that volume is dropping off in a lot of places in the markets into the summer. And so just those little clues have me leaning towards a tightening range being the most likely scenario.
Okay. All right. Well,
one more note on,
yeah.
Want to talk dominance real quick. So
what you got?
So if you are looking at altcoins, whether it's ETH, FTM, anything, this dominance chart has obviously been favoring the Bitcoin bulls for a long time, but I'm keeping an eye out for the potential of a rising wedge type of pattern. And essentially what bulls want to see in an ideal world is a new Bitcoin all-time high, and then this chart breaks bearish, because that would show us that altcoins are seeing a lot of attention and playing laggard to the Bitcoin move up. So essentially, if you are an altcoin bull, you want to see Bitcoin remain strong, but you want to see this dominance chart drop down, get to the lowest levels we've seen in a couple of months, and give us a bit of a longer term shift. We're still holding on for the bulls right now, and I'm looking at this low of the end of April as an important level in the short term as we gauge whether or not the focus is going to shift to altcoins in the short term.
Yeah, I do think the altcoin season is around the corner. I mean, we've seen certain sectors pop off, and well, I mean, it's a no-brainer that if you see Bitcoin crossing all-time highs, that, well, at least people in the crypto markets are going to take profit or speculate on smaller coins and move, and take a shot on some of the altcoins. It's just, well, our thing here is like, which ones are the ones that have the room to run? Which ones are going to be the ones that are they're gonna win the race? I guess you could say. And so, yeah, very, very, very interesting. I'm so excited. I think just to circle back to our how we entered this in a conversation is, with this presidential candidate, I think that crypto is going to get a lot of spotlight, both from these presidential candidates and just whoever's moderating and asking the questions. I think that I'll be very curious to see how many crypto questions. There's the debate with RFK, Donald Trump, and Biden, and they have requested that Elon Musk moderate the debate. Now, I don't know if that would ever happen. I don't know if that's a thing, but supposedly there's an official request for Elon Musk to moderate that thing, or at least there be in attendance. So I think it's gonna definitely get a lot of eyeballs. I think the ratings for those debates are gonna be off the charts. So I can only hope that, we have some heated debate over crypto. I think that it just.
Yeah, we can definitely say that 2024. I mean, well, I guess between the ETFs and now the presidential situation, as you're talking about, we could say that this is the most convincing mainstream move that crypto has seen in its history. And so that in itself is exciting. And again, we're up here sitting right under all-time highs, and bulls have been proven right time and time again. And so, it's a good time to be in crypto. Let's see where we go from here. But no red flags on the longer term charts as long as Bitcoin keeps leading the way as it has been.
Yep. I'm just, I think all-time highs is around the corner sometime next week. I think we're back over 72. That's my gut feeling. I know I'm not quite as plugged into the charts, but plugged into the sentiment. That's my thing.
It's not an outlandish claim. I'll say that much.
Not far off. We're only a couple thousand away. So, all right. Well, thank you again for joining us, Dan. If you aren't familiar with Dan, with the chart guys, go support Dan, and then Rocco, if you could just throw in the chat there. We'll pin it to the top. Your YouTube channel. And so, is there any parting words you got there?
Good luck during this election season, everyone. Just work through it and focus on your local communities.
Wow. All right. Go vote. How about that? Yeah, go vote.
Go vote and try and not throw up in your mouth when you do it.
Yeah, the ballot's like, worse, and pretty bad. All right. Well, thanks again. Yep. We'll see you next Wednesday.
I think so. Yep, I'll be around.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. All right. So, as we kind of talked about in the beginning there, and as me and Dan talked about, we got this Ethereum ETF catching a bunch of steam. So, couple things to talk about here. First, we have VanEck Ethereum Spot ETF listed on the DTCC under the ticker ETHV. So ETHV for VanEck. And so when you take a look here, this is basically the tickers that they're going to trade under. And we saw the same thing with Bitcoin. Once we had all of the tickers released for the ETFs, I think it was then 2 days later we had the listing. So this is pretty much in the bag. I think that it's safe to say that the ETFs are here. The tickers are already listing. And then, here we go. Ethereum, man, I'm telling you, ETH is going to absolutely explode this bull market. Very excited to see where that goes. But BlackRock, just to put a nail in the coffin here, BlackRock has updated its spot ETH application as well. There was some last minute tweaks or adjustments that the SEC has requested from these ETF filers. I know that they did scratch the provision for staking. So staking for ETH is, from my understanding, not really going to be a thing, right? So it's going to be very similar to the services that you get for Bitcoin. They're going to simply offer the spot market where, hey, buy, and then we'll just simply custody and buy and sell. The custodial agents are going to simply buy and sell per the demand on their product. So also, you had Burns, so $725 billion asset manager Bernstein says ETH will reach $6,600 after the Ethereum approval. Now, something to keep in mind, you still have the Grayscale Trust, which will convert over to a spot product or an ETF. And, there was a discount there on Ethereum for quite some time, over 30% for a long period of time. And so what we're going to see is that the price of the Ethereum needs to come in line with the price of Ethereum right now, right? So that imbalance, that gap needs to be sold off from Grayscale to get in line with the current price. What does that mean? Grayscale is going to have to sell Ethereum, but how much Ethereum are we going to see sold in the market. Is it going to be at the same rate that we saw with Bitcoin? I think it will be something comparable. I don't think it's going to be quite as heavy. I don't think that we're going to see quite as much of a downturn on the price of Ethereum per the selling of Grayscale. However, it is something to consider. There will be sell pressure, but on the back end, how much inflows are we expecting to see on the Ethereum and on the Ethereum products from BlackRock and others? Now, one other thing to unpack here, I know that we're assuming that, in a couple of days when this passes or, gets approved or gets its final approving, it might not start trading right away. This is per James Seyffart, and he's come out and said that seeing the broad misconception that approval means immediate launches of the Ethereum ETFs, this isn't necessarily the case. And there will be days at minimum days, likely weeks, and potentially months before approval and the launch of the products are here. So I know that we're expecting, hey, we're going to get the approval this week. We'll be trading on Friday. Come Monday, next thing you know, we're at $6,000 Ethereum. Hold your horses. This might not play out that fast. Now, conversely, we did see with the Bitcoin ETF that, things moved pretty quickly. We had the approval, and then a few days later, we were trading. Doesn't seem to be, per James Seyffart, the same situation. And, well, likely weeks, potentially months before we start trading the Ethereum product. So something to keep an eye out on. Also, I did want to discuss, well, the Bitcoin ETF and asset managers. And, well, these things have absolutely exploded. So taking a look here, we have BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF officially overtakes Grayscale for the most assets under management. So why is this important? Why are we discussing this? Well, for years, I don't know exactly when we got here, but Grayscale was the largest custodial agent of it was the largest Bitcoin wallet, the largest custodial agent of Bitcoin, right behind Satoshi's wallet. We'd understand that Satoshi, well, perhaps is no longer with us or maybe lost his keys. Either way, well, they're the number one wallet, and now they've been replaced. And BlackRock now, whether you think this is a positive or negative, now controls the most Bitcoin, period, behind Satoshi, probably an inactive wallet. So to say that come from January to May, a short 4 months, we've had the largest asset manager become, well, the largest Bitcoin wallet address. So, I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing, but it just shows you that, hey, Wall Street talks and BlackRock, well, they're here. So I did want to pull up this one. Most people are downplaying the significance of the fact that 13 of the top 25 hedge funds own Bitcoin. Now, what happens if Bitcoin appreciates by 5x by 2025? Now, this is per Luke. This is a question, but I don't really want to speculate what will happen if Bitcoin 5x's, if all of a sudden we're at a $350,000 Bitcoin. Interesting thought experiment there. And maybe we'll leave that for David. But you know what? Over 50% of the top 25 hedge funds now have a position on Bitcoin for their clients. Now, Citadel here, number one, has Bitcoin. Also, you see you got Millennium, Mariner, and so the list goes on and on. It just shows you that, hey, you have banks getting exposure to Bitcoin. You have hedge funds getting exposure to Bitcoin. On the outside looking in, we have the retirement accounts and pension funds, which is a multi-trillion-dollar industry or asset class. And, when are they going to get exposure to Bitcoin? Because from what we've discussed with some of the financial experts is that, well, they haven't even started playing yet. And so we have BlackRock being the largest custodial agent of Bitcoin. You have the hedge funds majority of them now custody Bitcoin. We got Ethereum ETF coming around the corner. And so just very interesting to see where we'll be at, I'd say a year from now. A year from now with both ETF products, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Perhaps we get some new ones as well. You got the presidential election. You got banks custodying. You got Congress coming out and passing laws that actually promote the adoption of crypto. You have the executive office coming out and say, hey, yeah, we're here for crypto. You got the presidential candidates discussing it at elections. So what a time to be alive. Super excited. How excited is Ashley? Are you excited about Bitcoin and its potential here?
What am I excited for?
We got election.
I
Bitcoin.
am so excited.
Yeah, you are excited. No,
Wow. Thank you.
What have you been doing over there? You've been chit chatting with the chat or what?
I've been entertaining. I have. Jimmy is just roasting me, but other than that, we're having fun.
I saw was it Jimmy that gave some? Did he? Oh, Jimmy was I saw a green chat up in here earlier. Did somebody gift something?
No.
No.
He just wants you to open the club.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe we'll open up some new memberships here. Oh, Jimmy was a member for 21 months. Whale member for 21 months. So that's what it was.
Wow.
Congratulations. So I did want to shift the conversation to something kind of comical here. Well, it's a sensitive subject, put it that way. We have Yuga Labs. So the creators of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the largest NFT, the largest NFT company, basically. The big famous one, CryptoPunks. They also own CryptoPunks, but the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Well, Yuga Lab folds to woke complaints on Black CryptoPunks. Was this a good move or a bad move? I'm not really sure if the marketing strategy was the best, especially in hindsight. But if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to take a look at this thing. So here's the headlines. They fold to woke complaints on Black CryptoPunks. And, well, here is the look at, they got some ethnic diversity in the CryptoPunks, which, I mean, honestly, from my own personal perspective, I don't know what the big deal here is. I don't really know. So this is a 500-piece collection that is playful as a profound, and I don't know. I don't see.
I don't know.
Am I missing something here? Do you find anything?
No, it just it's all about pretty much a nice way to kind of revive the project, I guess, but it doesn't really scream anything special.
They're scratching this whole project, though. That's the whole thing. So they introduced Black CryptoPunks. Apparently, the community wasn't vibing with that, and there was some pushback on it. And now they just scratched the whole project. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really know the nuances here on what the issues were with quote unquote the woke crowd, but
I feel like you're missing something important. Jimmy just dropped $300.
Jimmy dropped $300.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, an absolute nuke. So Jimmy has he said open sesame. You know what? I'll say this, Jimmy. I would love to open up the club, but currently
say it.
No,
David canceled the keys.
Yeah, we had to we scratched because of our new setup. We don't have, because of the camera switch and all that. We don't currently even have the club setup even available to open. We're redesigning it. So right now, the studio's been under construction, and so has our club scene. So we're reimagining that. So as of right now, there's no club. My apologies, but perhaps
maybe the only things left is the story time. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing left. But the club will be back, where it's under current construction. Gravy Chain, do you want to?
Do I want to what?
You want to do some club moves there or something? No. Okay.
No, you can do your.
I tried, Jimmy. Sorry. There you go. So
You can do yours. I'll allow it. Go
my
ahead.
club moves.
Mhm.
There's always the hand above the face. That's when you're sitting down. That's always a good one to go. Or being in Vegas spirit, you can always throw the dice, right? You can,
Have you been to the club?
I have. It's been a while though. It's been a while. I've been over here curtailing this show and creating here. So Jimmy says, "Give me my money back." Well, yes, we'll work on a refund for you. All right, so going from NFTs, did want to move into the meme coin discussion. So here we have meme coin trading volume skyrockets despite market turbulence. So ask yourself, like, where are we in this altcoin cycle, or more or less, where are we in the meme coin cycle? Because last bull market, we saw that the meme coin cycle came a little later, right? We had the introduction of meme coins, we had Shiba Inu, but this was more on the back end of the bull market. This was in the tail end of 2021 and going into 2022. That's when we saw SHIB and Dogelon Mars and all of these meme coins come out of nowhere and just absolutely explode. Now, we saw that meme coins took off quite early in this bull market. You can even say prior to the bull market, we had Pepe becoming a thing, and that was before the bull market even really kicked off, in the middle of the bear market. And, well, people are launching meme coins left and right. People making money left and right. And so I won't go too far into this article here, but just the headline, meme coin trade volume skyrockets. However, here might be an indicator that is the meme top here. So we have a new meme coin, Gay Elon Musk, to skyrocket 14,000% as KuCoin listing announced. And so is this a market top signal that Gay Elon is a token that just got listed on KuCoin? And, well, there's a lot of hype behind this one. Hasn't listed yet, but proceed with caution. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this really catch steam and blow up. But yeah, I don't know. Rocco, what do you think about meme coins? You think that this thing is? You think that there more room to run with meme coins, or do you think that the market's kind of overheated and gonna maybe take a step back?
No, I think there is always room for especially now with the price of Bitcoin increase on the $100,000, because that's where we are headed. People, they're gonna start to talk about it. They want to jump in, and they will see 100,000. They will never afford it, and they don't like to buy, let's say, just a fraction of that.
Hmm.
So they will end up to jump in the meme. They're more affordable. They can buy $1 trillion, whatever it is, the Elon whatever, and then they feel good. They put $100, and then they see their money double or go to zero. So the meme is always part of the cycle, and it will never end. There's always something's gonna come out. There's gonna in the news or some I don't know, famous person's gonna come out with something, and there's gonna driven the meme coin all the time. So, and some they're gonna stick, like Pepe, Bonk, Floki, all this stuff, and some they're gonna just disappear. But I think people will be more inclined to go jump on the meme coin than more. And then some people maybe in the next cycle will study more, and they will jump in project that make more sense. Project that are solid. They have a project behind, and they're making something for the future, payments or whatever there is, ICP, Cardano, Ethereum, whatever, the future.
Yeah.
We are in that direction. But I think so for the entry people, the people that jump in crypto for the first time, and they're probably going to be jumping on the meme coin first.
Yeah, I mean, what goes up must come down. And we're seeing that the market on meme coins have exploded and outperformed Bitcoin, or at least the top projects have outperformed layer ones, outperformed Bitcoin. We've seen on those weekly charts, we week in and week out, that hey man, these best performing assets out of the top 100 have been meme coins. And so we know it can't just be up and to the right forever. So, you know, you got to think like, you know, when is this thing going to be overbought? I agree with you. Meme coins aren't going anywhere. They're not going to die.
No.
It's not like we're going to look back 5 years from now and be like, remember the last meme coin that launched and that was it, right? No, they're always going to be, you know, they're a vehicle for, as you mentioned, newcomers, newbies, people to get exposure, celebrities to make a quick buck. I mean, it is what it is, right? And you're always going to have penny stocks in Wall Street, and there's always going to be a community of investors that are looking for big, massive gains with a small entry, essentially a lottery ticket. It's always been there for Wall Street. It's always going to be here for crypto. I agree. You know, I just think to myself, like, hey, are we at a top right now where perhaps we'll pull back because we've seen a massive run on crypto? I want to know what the chat thinks. What do you guys think? Do you think that these meme coins are at the first step of the next big run up? Do you think that we'll expect more gains, more 100x's, more 10x's, more 5x's out of the big meme coins? Is that going to come up this bull market in this, let's say, in the next like 6 months? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that we just got started with meme coins. But if you think that perhaps we're rotating from one sector to another, last bull market we saw that NFTs would rally, and then they took a break. Then it was the metaverse, and then it was DeFi, and so. Is this just one cycle that is now behind us? We'll move on to the next thing. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that the memes have topped for this year. I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Do you think we're gonna see ETF in the future that actually have a basket of meme coin? I mean, it was far fetched to have a Bitcoin ETF.
I think that
40 years ago,
what we're going to get is a listing one by one. In the same way that the safe exchanges, quote unquote, or the crypto services that are offered by merchants here in the United States, I think that there is only a few listings, right? You have like take Robinhood, for example. When it first came out, it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and, you know, Ethereum Classic, and then like Dogecoin, and then Litecoin. And so that was it. That was their listing. And I think that that's probably what we're going to see for ETF listings. I think that we have Bitcoin. Now we have Ethereum, or at least it should be approved. And I think that next up will be Litecoin, Doge, followed by, I don't know if there's enough support for Ethereum Classic. I think at this point we kind of put that thing to bed. When ETH Classic was getting listed and had like Robinhood, that was not far away from the essential hard fork that made Ethereum Classic, right? There was still mining going on there. There was still a discussion. They're like, hey, this is relevant. But I think at this point, it's safe to say that the meme coins, ETH Classic is really not a thing anymore. So I don't expect an ETH Classic ETF. But I do expect a Litecoin and Dogecoin ETF. I would be shocked not to see those applications submitted within the next 6 months. I think that we'll see an approval within the next 12-month calendar year. I think that the applications will be in within the next coming months as well. It's a no-brainer, right? I mean, they're making tons of money. I mean, these articles that I talked about with these hedge funds, with BlackRock, they're making money off of these services. And I think that they're going to make a ton of money off the Ethereum ETFs as well. And so why not look a little further down the list as well?
You got to think about also that Bitcoin Cash is something that is usually more affordable for people that jump in crypto for the first time.
I think Bitcoin Cash might be something as well. I mean, I don't personally believe in it, but
no, that's no.
Yeah.
The thing is, but for the people that jump in crypto for the first time, I do have a friend that says, "Oh no, I can buy Bitcoin, but I bought Bitcoin Cash." I tried to explain it, why, but it doesn't matter. They say, "Oh, it's gonna go up anyway." So and then they're gonna jump out, but yeah. So
Well, I did want to, before we wrap it up, a couple things. Big shout out today for the Bitcoin Pizza Day. So, this day, I don't know how many years ago was it. I don't remember when exactly the date was, but first Bitcoin transaction. So here I got a little video. Let's see if I got my audio turned on. There we go. So here you have.
When I say Bitcoin, you say what?
Pizza.
This is Laszlo Hanyet of Jacksonville, and it was a pizza delivery order 9 years ago that began the cryptocurrency craze.
I just told people I wanted a pizza and I want to pay with Bitcoin. I didn't want a gift card. I didn't want some weird exchange. I wanted to give you Bitcoin and you give me pizza.
The 37-year-old computer programmer created this thread in an online forum and posted that he would pay someone 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. A user from England took him up on the offer, and these pizzas were delivered to Hanyet's home. At the time, the 10,000 Bitcoins were worth about $40. Today, they would be worth $100 million.
People ask me, oh man, what an idiot. Why don't you keep that Bitcoin? And it's like, well, you know, somebody had to start it.
When I say
So
Bitcoin, you say what?
$100 million worth of Bitcoin spent
2018.
9 years ago on two pizzas.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting to see even how we got there. The reason we even discuss it, and the reason is it's such a big topic is because prior to that, Bitcoin was never used as a medium in exchange. And I know me and Ashley here, we discussed that actually today was, about money, monetary system, and what use cases do you have with fiat? It's a medium of exchange. And so one of the reasons that we even created Bitcoin, or Satoshi created Bitcoin, was that it is supposed to be a peer-to-peer network to facilitate transactions. And so that was the first transaction for goods outside of, hey, I'm buying Bitcoin to speculate. So it was actually used for something. Are you going to buy any pizza with Bitcoin, Ashley?
I was actually gonna do it as soon as I leave here. Yeah.
Let's go. What do you put on your pizza? I'm just curious. I know David's a big barbecue and
I can't lie, barbecue chicken pizza does slap. I know. I'm sorry.
well.
But we'll stick with pepperoni or something normal, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
How about pineapple?
I do like pineapple on pizza. I think it belongs on pizza.
You think it belongs on
It
pizza?
does belong on pizza.
Rocco, will you educate her on pineapple?
Pineapple stays on the tree, on the floor, whatever it in the
On the tree,
dirt,
on
on
the
the
floor.
dirt, on the dirt,
In the dirt.
on the dirt, stay there, and eventually some animal eat that.
You don't like pineapple at all?
I love pineapple,
So why does it stay in the dirt?
and I love pizza,
Yeah.
but the two together, then they don't go together.
They do.
No, like a wolf and
Yeah,
a cat.
I like hot tubs. And I
Hot
also
tub.
like pizza, but
No, the
no
two don't go
pizza
away.
and a hot tub together. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Just because you like two things don't mean they need to be put together. One thing I wanted to end the show on here was, I know we opened up talking about Biden and the election and raising money, but now this comes out from Bitcoin Magazine. So not exactly sure where they got this screenshot from, but I saw this circulating Twitter yesterday. So Joe Biden's campaign asked for donations, saying cryptocurrency executives backing Donald Trump's are out raising them. Earlier today, Trump started accepting Bitcoin for campaign donations. And so here you have what looks like a text from either Joe Biden or someone in his campaign. He said, folks, this couldn't be any more serious. Cryptocurrency executives and oil barons are coming out of the woodworks for Trump. They're rushing in $800,000 checks at glitzy events. Now Trump is out raising us. He raked in $76 million in total for April, $50 million coming from one single gala event in Palm Beach. And,
Is it legit? I mean,
it's from Bitcoin Magazine, so I don't think that they would just YOLO
Yeah.
out something without it
Yeah, I don't
having
think
some
it's
kind
fake,
of
yeah.
some kind of
Yeah.
source, verified source. But I don't know, man. I think it's no surprise. Today we come in and first thing is yesterday. I mean, just think of it. Yesterday, Trump says, "Hey, campaign donations, we're taking them." If you're for crypto, vote for me. And hey, donate some Bitcoin to our campaign. This same day, you have this come out saying, "Hey, Trump is outperforming us on campaign donations." And then the very next morning, the executive office comes out with a press release saying, "Hey, we want to work with Congress to pass legislation." 1 week ago, he said the exact opposite. So, is it all coincidence? No, it's definitely not. But, well, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm not going to finger tornado this thing out of here.
Come on, do it. Dave's going to be so proud of you.
Is there a parting finishing move you want to do there for the show there, Ashley?
No, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
He's got nothing.
Sorry.
Well, without further ado, that's it. Rocco,
Yay.
hit the music.
I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to do the finger tornado.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Friend and family, see you next time.
There it is. Well,
Bye,
thanks for
guys.
joining us.
Ciao a tutti.
See you tomorrow. Dave is back tomorrow.
Ciao.
Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon, then to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.